been years, but I finally bit the bullet and I got this stupid Viper chair. When I purchased this chair a couple years ago, I really wanted this one. I didn't do it. In fact, the other chair I was looking at purchasing, they don't even make anymore. Eastwood made a chair very similar to the Viper chair, and I have a feeling that's why they don't make it anymore, and that's why you can't get it. If I were a betting man, I would say that Viper sued Eastwood and Eastwood cut that product out. I was going to purchase that chair. I decided around July 4th, July 2nd, that I was going to purchase a better chair for the shop that was higher so I could reach my computer on this workbench. That was one of my big criteria. The second criteria was I needed to be able to collapse the chair, shrink it down enough to easily fit underneath a truck while on my 2-post lift. Why would you do that? Well, a lot of times I'm under their needle scaling frames and I'm a fat guy, so yeah, I want to sit. So what? What's you want to fight about it? Those are the two big criteria. This chair is the only chair on the market that fits that. If I could have bought the Eastwood chair, I would have. It was a lot cheaper than this. If I recall, it was almost half the price or close to that. In the very beginning of this whole journey to find a shop stool, I bought a Seville Classic stool, a couple of them actually. I bought a couple DeWalt stools. Then I purchased this chair. If I added up what I spent on those chairs plus the Eastwood chair, I would have exceeded the cost of this one. If I could go back in time and tell myself, hey, do not buy any of those, just get a Viper chair. They were also cheaper back then. They've, of course, inflation and whatever, they've gone up since then. Just get this chair. I am not sponsored by Viper. I spent my own money on this. Because of the two criteria I mentioned, being able to sit down under a truck on my 2-post and reach the height of this workbench, I think that is the only reason that this chair at this level of this quality is worth it for me. The only other type of dynamic I can see where this makes sense is if you're a detailer or you spend a lot of time detailing your own vehicles and you're in a chair a lot and you need it to roll really well. I think that is also someone who should purchase a Viper chair. All the in between or around, it doesn't make sense. Like if you're at a dealership being paid flat rate, like you're probably never gonna be sitting in a chair, like ever, unless you're transferring parts from one engine to another or something like that. I don't see this being useful at all. This was way less, 1/6 the cost of this chair, and it does a lot of things pretty well. In fact, I'm gonna keep this chair despite the few shortcomings it has. I like the width of the seat. I do not like the padding, it's too thin. When you spend a long time in this, like a couple hours, it's almost painful. It's not comfortable compared to a Viper chair. The casters are okay, but they are loosening up a little bit. They have some wiggle and play in them. I knew that was gonna be the failure point. They look cool, but they're not anywhere near the quality that the Viper chair is, which is gonna be the story for most chairs. They're not gonna touch a Viper chair. And one thing I've grown to absolutely hate about this is this stupid tool tray. I hate it. It collects everything. And you can see all the rust chips from when I was needle scaling my F-250. It's just filled this whole thing. That's one of the reasons when I ordered this, I did not want a tray. And you'd be shocked how hard it is to find a decent chair that doesn't have this stupid tray. This tray is a cheap way to add structural stability, and it's pawned off like it's some kind of a design feature. It's a detriment. I do not like the tray at all. One thing I do like about this chair over the Viper chair is the back is very soft, so if it runs into your paint on your car, it doesn't damage it. The Viper chair has this enormous ridge here for strength. They kind of band-aid this whole thing with this piece of edge guard or whatnot. It's better than not having it. You do not want this to roll into anything. I think it's a good value. If you have similar criteria to me, I really think the Viper chair is awesome. You know, as a bonus, this blue paint vibes well with the lift, but really vibes with the Harbor Freight Series 3 toolbox. They look very matchy-matchy. Enjoy the time lapse of putting this together. We've got some pretty cool projects coming. I haven't put a video up in a while, just been busy with work. We've had this same truck in my shop. It's been forever. We took an engine out of a F-250. It was a 5.4 Triton motor that was just getting tired. We replaced it with another engine. As soon as we started it, within 20 minutes, it had a horrible tick. We contacted the company, they warranted the engine. We took it out. It never even made it out of my shop. It didn't touch the road, nothing. So we got another engine, put that in the vehicle, and within 300 miles, a valve spring broke on it. And so, of course, we just got authorization to pull that out. We pulled it out, we sent it away. And I have a third engine sitting in my other shop for this truck, which I pulled out of here so I could clean up my shop. We've had this truck for like 7 months and it will be done this weekend. After that, I've got a pretty cool build on a 2003 Silverado SS that I purchased. I also have an amazing build where we're gonna drop the cradle and do a mild build on a 2001 Pontiac Trans Am WS6. That's gonna be super cool. We're gonna do a bunch of BTR stuff, cam, you name it. It's gonna get dyno tuned. That's gonna be really cool. Been a bit since I've been able to do any kind of content. There's just been nothing new to film. This is the first time I've had something that I wanted to share. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.